This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
I'm Roby Brock. Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. It's Thursday, October 13th. Here are your top stories of the day.
It was a big day at the Arkansas Supreme Court. We learned the fate of several ballot measures, beginning with a medical tort reform initiative. The state's high court ruled it will not be on the ballot, and any votes cast for it will not be counted. The Supremes said the measure's reference to non-economic damages did not make it clear to voters what the definition of that would be. Casinos also stricken from the ballot. A proposal to add 3 casinos in Boone, Miller, and Washington counties was kicked off the November ballot due to conflicts between federal law that outlaws sports betting and a provision in the state proposal that would allow it. Finally, a medical marijuana amendment proposal will remain on the ballot, despite opponents claiming that the ballot title was misleading. The Supreme Court ruled that this was not the case, and the initiative will move forward before voters. Read more on all this action at talkbusiness.net. Finally, Governor Asa Hutchinson recommitting his support for Donald Trump despite recent allegations of sexual misconduct years ago. Hutchinson said both presidential candidates have flaws, but he's sticking with the GOP nominee. The governor is headed for a 6-day economic trip to China to recruit new business and work with Arkansas companies currently doing business in Asia.
And you can keep up with our daily headlines each and every day at talkbusiness.net. Still to come, it was a big night last night for Ray Dillon, CEO of Deltic Timber Corporation. He was honored at a fundraiser for the Arkansas Sheriff's Youth Ranches. Michael Tilley shares his take on the latest economic report card from the Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas Compass Report. And a little later on, Jessica Deloach-Sabin and John Burris discuss Arkansas's shifting party politics. We're back after this.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be for you. First Security Bank, only in Arkansas.
At Deltic Timber Corporation, we believe in the responsible creation of communities, in the development of neighborhoods that bring convenience and comfort to life, while respecting the beauty and delicacy of nature. Like the harmonious balance of environment and expansion found in the thriving communities of Chenal Valley and Chenal Downs in Little Rock, and Red Oak Ridge in Hot Springs. Because the best communities in the natural state are the ones that help keep it that way.
Well, Ray Dillon is the longtime CEO of Deltic Timber Corporation. He was honored last night in a Little Rock fundraiser for the Arkansas Sheriff's Youth Ranches. I caught up with Dillon for a short Q&A.
Well, I got involved with the Arkansas Sheriff's Youth Ranch when Governor BB was governor, and realizing that it was one of his special missions. And I first started supporting him, but then I realized totally what their mission was and the young people that they're helping each and every day. And they're helping people that without the ranch's help, literally these kids won't have a future. So we're trying to give these kids a future and have them be healthy, happy adults rather than be troubled adults. So that's why I'm involved, is trying to help people that literally can't help themselves.
Just a couple of days ago it was announced you're going to retire from Deltic Timber. What are you going to do, and are we going to continue to see you around?
Oh, you're going to continue to see me around, and I'm going to do more work like this, both here in Central Arkansas and throughout the state. I've got 4 grandchildren now, and I plan on getting to know them real well over these next years. And I'm very blessed to have my health and have the resources to be able to retire, and I look forward to helping others and really helping my grandchildren.
That's Ray Dillon with Deltic Timber Corporation speaking about the good work of the Arkansas Sheriff's Youth Ranches. Another break, and we discuss the recent rise in Republican voters in our latest Talk Business and Hendrix College polling. And then Michael Tilley shares the latest Compass Report data from Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. We're back after this.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.
As Arkansas's population grows, so do our energy demands. But with the right mix of resources, reliable, affordable power will always be a reality. These resources are all around us in our rivers, blowing through our trees, even right below our feet. The answer isn't focusing on one resource, it's embracing them all. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas know that a balanced approach to power builds our communities and powers our dreams. Visit themixmatters.com and see why there's power in knowledge.
In our most recent Talk Business and Politics Hendrix College poll, there was an interesting piece of data concerning party identification among Arkansas voters. I asked Talk Business and Politics John Burris and Jessica Deloach-Sabin for their thoughts. Talking about a little bit in terms of how Arkansas is shifting politically. In our latest Talk Business and Politics Hendrix College poll, we never wait on political identification, but we saw in our last poll that self-identified party affiliation, 43% Republican, 34% Democrat, 20% Independent, a big shift from the third that we've been seeing. Jessica, I'll throw the question to you first. Do you think that Arkansas independents have declared they're Republicans now?
I think they've been declaring it in the past several elections, because a lot of independents in Arkansas at least do seem to lean toward the right a lot more than what you'd see maybe other independent groups in a bit more progressive states.
3-1, 4-1, as we've seen them supporting Republican candidates.
Right, they've basically been an extension of the Republican Party here in Arkansas, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I know that we mentioned earlier in the show that independents they've been leaning this way. There are several reasons for that. You just have to look at what the hot button issues are. I don't think it's mystifying at all. In fact, I expected. It's kind of surprising that they're starting to identify in a more out front, I'm definitely conservative kind of way.
Right. What do you think, John, about that party ID shift there? That's pretty significant. You crawl through a lot of polling data. What do you think about that?
Well, I agree with what Jessica said, and the reality is it's not going to always be this good for Republicans, but it's not, the era of Obama is not going to end when he's gone. I mean, there's going to be residual effects for years and probably multiple election cycles, and that's why you really haven't even seen the peak of, or at least last election cycle, we had not even seen the peak of the transition over to the Republican Party. This poll shows that it's continued, and I think it will probably continue even more so once Hillary's elected. So it's not always going to be...
You're assuming Hillary Clinton's going to be elected?
Yeah, I mean...
I think you've come to that conclusion.
I think it's the best thing for Republicans in Arkansas, even if not for the country. So I just think, again, it's not going to always be the Republican fertile ground that it has been for several election cycles, but it's probably going to be that way for a little bit longer.
So stay with you, John. How do Democrats alter that equation? What political advice do you give them to try to turn that tide in a different direction?
I think any advice would be silly. Republicans sit around for decades trying to figure out how we could grow the party and elect more Republicans statewide and in the legislature. We had lots of plans that failed, and then Barack Obama got elected president, and that was the plan. And that's what finally did it. So I don't know. I mean, it won't be whatever happens that starts turning it back closer to the way it used to be. It won't be anything that we could come up with today, and probably won't be anything that a consultant or a party chairman or a politician does. It will be some outside event, national politics, and it will just eventually, I don't think we'll ever get back to Democratic control, at least not in the near future, but it'll balance back out a little bit, but I don't know what will cause it.
All right. Jessica, I'll give you a chance to chime in. What did the Democrats do to stem the tide?
Sure, I think, going off what John was just saying, maybe it is that we're finally going to see Arkansas become an actual two-party state. Once we get past this pendulum swinging and lingering in one place or another on the left or the right, it would be great to see us become that two-party state where things are a bit more competitive. I think it comes down to a couple of things. Whatever the big issues are at the time, which also impacts those independent voters, because I think that they're definitely very issue-driven. Also, maybe a little bit of messaging. The Democrats might want to rethink what their overall message is. And maybe time, just letting people experience what the state government delivers under Republican leadership, seeing if they like it. And if they don't like it, they know what to do.
Maybe Donald Trump could win the election, and that would help swing the pendulum back for
That would definitely change things, yes.
All right.
Probably would.
Let's talk business and politics. Jessica Deloach-Sabin and John Burris. A word from our sponsors, and we'll be joined by Michael Tilley, Executive Editor for Talk Business and Politics. What's happening in the Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas economy? Find out when we come back.
Circuits turn on the lights by making a connection, by closing the loop. At Entergy, we believe our economy is circular too. What you put in comes back. So we invest billions in new infrastructure, which helps attract new industry, which helps create new jobs. We partner with local communities to electrify the economy, and together we power life. Entergy.
You've likely heard of the Great Arkansas Treasure Hunt. In fact, you or your business may have property to claim in the hunt. But where does this treasure come from? Businesses like yours. The law calls it unclaimed property. If your business is holding money on its books that you've not been able to return to the owner, it's most likely unclaimed property, and the law requires it to be sent to the state auditor's office each year. Auditor Andrea Lea's office can make the process for businesses to comply with the law easy and straightforward. Help us help you return Arkansans' unclaimed property at auditor.ar.gov.
One of the big reports you can find on a quarterly basis on our website at talkbusiness.net is the Comprehensive Compass Report. It's underwritten by Zero Mountain Logistics. It covers economic activity in Central, Northwest, Northeast, and the Fort Smith metro area. Today, Executive Editor Michael Tilley describes the big takeaways from Northeast Arkansas, Jonesboro, and some surrounding areas.
For the Jonesboro metro area, had an A- grade, which was up from a B+ that they had in the previous quarter. These first two quarters are the first quarters that we've been measuring the Jonesboro metro area. But what we're seeing is a good, healthy economy. 55,800 jobs at the end of the quarter. I mean, if this trend continues, Roby, I think in the near term we'll be talking about them hitting that 60,000 job marker level, whatever you want to call it. But it's a healthy economy. Sales tax revenue is doing well. Manufacturing employment is surprisingly doing well. And building permit numbers are up. So across the board for the Northeast Arkansas economy, it is the smaller of the four metro areas, but it is doing well, and no reason to think that that trend will not continue.
That's Michael Tilley with a look at the latest from the Compass Report. You can check out the full report online at talkbusiness.net. That is all for today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you tomorrow.